Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back. It's BK Tarot here, and today's pick a card reading is going to be on what vibe you're currently giving off right now. Okay, so we have group one with movement, we have group two with meditate, we have group three with chanting, and we have group four with rest. All right, so take a second, decide which group you're the most drawn to. The timestamps are in the description box below. Feel free to pick more than one group, or if there's a group that doesn't resonate, you can pick a different group. All right, so we're going to get into it for y'all. Group one. Hey, how y'all doing today? Hopefully everybody is doing well. All right, so for group one, we have movement. So you could be someone who clearly moves around a lot. You could do a lot of walking, you could run, you could be someone who rides your bike, you could go to the gym, you could be someone who is just an active person. Like you are someone who's always moving your body around in some type of way. I'm hearing maybe for one of you, you could be a dance instructor, or dancing is one of your hobbies. Okay. And some of you guys may do Pilates or yoga. So the vibe you give off is that you're someone who is taking good care of your body right now. And or the vibe you give off is that you're someone who is a busybody, meaning you move around a lot. You may have a busy life, different responsibilities that require you to move around a lot. You know, you could be age 36. You could be born in March or June. Okay. Maybe for one of you, you could be in the LGBT community. Let's do the astro dice. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What vibe is group one currently giving off right now? Turn off this heater. It's hot now. So we have South Node, 10th house, and Taurus. Okay. So the vibe you guys give off is that you make good money. Like maybe the way you dress, or the way you present yourself shows that you make good money, or that you're financially stable, or you're wealthy in some type of way. You the vibe you give off also for some of you is that you take pride in the way that you dress, in the way that you look. So you may wear quality clothing. I'm hearing like some of you guys like to buy like the quality perfumes and colognes and stuff like that. Maybe for one of you, you like Versace cologne or Chanel. But yeah, it's like your reputation is that you take good care of yourself. I said reputation, but yeah, so that could be a reputation, is that you take good care of yourself in some type of way. But the vibe you give off is that you could be, like, especially if you're a masculine, the vibe you give off is that you could be metrosexual, uh, which pretty much means that you are someone who may be, what am I trying to say? I don't even know how to describe it. It's just I can see a person being metro. Like I know some college friends that are metro, that are masculines. So it's like if you're a masculine, you always have a nice lineup. You always have your haircut, or your hair did real nice, cornrows or long hair, whatever, nice and polished. Your nails are always nice and clean and trimmed. Your beard hair is never out of place. You could be someone, if you're masculine, you could use beard oil or use like conditioner in your hair. And I'm seeing like a man with like a comb, and you're combing your beard or whatever. So that could be for some of you, or maybe one of you. But yeah, you're someone who definitely takes pride in how you look. Okay, and that's the vibe you give off. So you could be a Taurus or a Capricorn or Virgo also. Whoa. All right, let's get into the tarot. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What vibe? All right, that wanted to come out. What vibe is group 1 currently giving off right now? We have Kunandera of water. So that's King of Cups. We have 6 of air. So I feel like the vibe you give off, group 1, is that you're not someone who entertains you're not someone who entertains conversations that don't have substance or that are not really important. So it's like if there's a topic that someone is talking about and it's very deep or something where like maybe you can learn something from it. Like if someone's talking about that type of topic, you'll indulge in that. But if someone is just gossiping or just talking about like maybe small talk, you're not someone who really indulges in small talk. And that's the vibe you give off. It's getting cold again. I gotta turn up the heat. I'll do that after this video. But yeah, you're someone, you seem like you're peaceful, you're at peace, you're emotionally mature. This is the vibe you're giving off right now. You could have like what is it? Like, you know how they say pick and choose your battles. So you could have chosen to not argue with someone or not debate with someone to keep your peace. Okay. Even though you might have wanted to say something to that person or you wanted to maybe say your opinion or your perspective on that situation, but you just decided to not use your energy for that. All right. Wow. 10 of water. So if you're masculine, the vibe that you give off is that you are a good husband if you're married, or you're a good life partner. Like acquaintances or coworkers may be around you when you're interacting with them. You know, if you interact with them or you're interacting with other people, they see that you have a personality that is well-rounded. You're emotionally stable. You're not immature. You're not petty. Okay, that's the vibe you're giving off right now. And then we have death. So you could have been someone in the past where you would cuss somebody out at the drop of a hat. Yeah, you could have been short-tempered or quick-tempered, and you could have been someone who argued with people very often, but maybe nowadays you're working on your attitude, working on being the bigger person. Okay. Your team, what vibe does group 1 give off right now? What vibe is group 1 giving off? The moon. So you could be someone who's moving in silence. You could be someone who is making plans and you're doing certain things in silence. You could be traveling. So like, for instance, if you're taking off of work and people ask you, oh, where you going? And you kind of are vague about where you're going. Maybe because you don't want them to know, or you don't want their energy involved in your plans or whatever. But then when you come back, you tell them, oh, I just took a trip to Florida or whatever. I just took a girl's trip or a guy's trip to Florida or whatever. Or I went somewhere for a bachelor or bachelorette party or whatever. It's like you kind of downplay your plans or whatever. So it's like you tell people about it after the fact and they're like so shocked and surprised because when initially you talked to them about it, you were kind of nonchalant about it. You maybe weren't very excited, or you didn't show that you were excited. You could have been excited, you know. But yeah, that's the vibe you give off to group 1, is that you're nonchalant, laid back. You don't really fuss and argue, things like that, but you may have a past of being someone who used to go off on other people, and you could have been a little emotionally unstable, you know, and it's okay. We all have our times and our moments. But yeah. So the vibe you give off for the people that have known you for a while is that you have changed your attitude, you have changed your the way you express your emotions. Yeah. And people can see you as being mysterious because you don't tell people everything about yourself. We got the Hierophant. The vibe you give off, whether you're feminine or masculine, is that you are in a healthy relationship. Okay. Whether you're married, whether you are dating or in a long-term relationship, you give off the vibe that you are in a really good relationship right now, but you may be someone who doesn't really talk much about your relationship or whatever this commitment is. And it has people wondering. Like, there could be some people who feel like you're in a relationship, but they don't know because you don't broadcast it or you don't talk much about your relationship with people. So this could be coming from like people from work or maybe acquaintances or something, or like strangers or something like that, you know. And then we have 4 of fire. Damn. Okay. And we have 3 of water. So the vibe you give off, group 1, is that if you have a family, you have a good family life. Your family is happy. Your partner is happy. People can feel like you make them. People feel like you make your partner happy based off of the personality that you have. They feel like you're a good partner. You make your spouse or partner happy. You make your family happy, your kids happy, things like that. And because of that, like, people feel like if they haven't spent time with you personally, they feel like you would be someone who would be a good time, like, to spend time with, to hang out with and party with. Yeah. So it's like some people may feel like well, okay, so the vibe you give off is that you're laid back, nonchalant, all of that good stuff. But the vibe you also give off is that you're mysterious and there could be another side to you that you're not showing, but people feel that the other side of you that is not showing is a very fun and wild side. Okay. So we have heavy Pisces, heavy Taurus, Scorpio, and all the other signs are here. All right, group 1, that was your reading. That was cute. All right, let's keep going. So we have meditate for group 2. So what vibe do you give off? You give off the vibe that you are in your own world and you're not really worried about other people. You could be an introvert, or you could just be someone who doesn't really like people, and not in a way where, well, I don't even know. I'm not even going to try to, I guess everybody's different, because there's some people who don't like people because people may be annoying to you or whatever. And then there's other people who just don't like people just because they need their own space, which is more of an introverted thing. So just take whatever resonates, you know. And it could also be, I'm hearing you may feel that people are messy, so you don't really like to mingle much with other people, or maybe uh the people that you encounter or the people that you're surrounded by could be messy or petty or filled with drama. So it's like you stay to yourself and you want to be drama free. And this is the vibe you give off, group 2. You could come from a different culture or a different region or area from these other people that you're around. So you may be standoffish, or this is the vibe that you give off, is that you may be a little standoffish because your culture is different, or you come from a different area. You may be new to whatever area you're in. Okay. So the vibe you give off is that, like, you're in your own world. You don't want to be bothered. All right. Get the astral dice. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What vibe does group 2 give off? What vibe is group 2 giving off right now? So we have first house, Virgo. I think this is Mercury. Mercury and Virgo in the first house. That's funny. That's my Mercury sign. My Mercury's in Virgo. I think I have my Mercury and Virgo in the 9th house, I think, if I remember right. I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, y'all. I'm a Virgo sun. I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, a lot of Scorpio, and a lot of Taurus, I think, in my chart too. Um, but yeah, so the vibe that you guys give off, yeah, is that you're just focused on yourself. Because like with the first house that talks about yourself, focusing on self, um, also your physical appearance. You could be someone who dresses very proper or sophisticated or very clean. So you could be someone who may wear like the same type of clothing versus being someone who explores with your fashion. You could be someone who kind of has the same type of outfits that you wear and you're known for this. So this is the vibe you give off, is that like you have a particular way of dressing. Um so for you guys, the way that you communicate is very analytical, and this is the vibe you give off. And you could be someone who is more observant when you're in conversations versus um being the initiator of certain topics when you have conversations, you know. You could be a neat freak. That's the vibe you give off, is that you're a neat freak. You may be someone who has like a lint roller in your bag, like in your purse or your car if you're masculine, or in your briefcase if they still carry those around. Or you could be someone who has like the Tide pins, like if you stain your clothes or something, there's like the little Tide laundry pin that you can use to get it out. Also, you could be someone who knows a lot of things that other people don't know, and you could also be someone where your vibe comes off as like you could be prepared for anything. So if someone, um, I don't know, needs a pen or something, you have that on you. If someone needs a mirror to see, I don't know, if someone needs a mirror to look at themselves and y'all are out and about or something, you have a mirror in your bag. Like you're someone who has things that other people need that other people normally don't carry around. You could be a Virgo or Gemini or an Aries. You could be age 35. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What vibe does group 2 give off? What vibe is group 2 giving off right now? 9 of water. Wow. Okay. We have the Empress. Very good looking. That's for sure. Very, very good looking. Um, People are very attracted to you. Maybe because you give to yourself and you stay to yourself, that makes other people want to give to you. So you are someone who is magnetic and people are drawn to you and your solitude. People want to get in your space. People want to get in your bubble. And I heard people want to pick your brain because like you may not converse with people often, but when you do talk to them, you seem like you're very educated in things. Like I say, you're someone who's analytical or observant. So you could be someone who likes to learn about different things, and maybe the people around you don't really like learning, or they may talk about surface level type stuff or just talk about practical things versus getting deep and diving deep into different topics, you know. You give off the vibe that you smell good also, group 2. So some people may have smelt your scent, or if they haven't smelled you and they see you from far away, they have this, like they have these thoughts like, oh, group 2 looks like they smell good. All right, and we have Ace of Earth and 10 of Fire. There could be one or two people out there that are hot and heavy for you. who are like really attracted to you. Some people could be drooling because of how good you look or how attracted they are to you. What in the world? Okay, there's maybe one person, I know this is a weird thing, but there's one person who like wants to smell your natural body odor, and I'm getting like somebody wants to like smell your armpits. I don't know what the hell that's about. Um so that I don't know. There could be someone who's really attracted to you or someone you're dating or you're in a relationship with and they really like your pheromones. Okay. That's interesting. But you could be starting something new. You could have moved into a new home or you're in the process of moving into a new home. And if not a new home, you're in the process of getting something that you always desired. Like you're working towards getting that. You have Iha of water. Yeah, it's definitely somebody who has a crush on you, group too. We have the Tower. Yeah, the vibe you give off, group two, is that you are a boss man or boss lady or boss person. Wow. And we have the Sun. So, damn, the Two of Cups. So the vibe you give off is that you could be someone who is famous, well known, or someone who's important. Like if you're walking by, or if people don't really know you that well, in their head, they're like, this person is somebody important. I think I need to try to get to know them more or try to talk to them more. But I feel like you guys are very creative. A lot of people may not know this or you may not display this often, but you're someone who is creative, artistic, like you're innovative for sure. And there could be one or two people that have got a glimpse of your creativity or your artistic ways, and they're very shocked at what they've seen because they probably didn't expect that coming from you because maybe you seem so analytical and neat freakish and just like what am I trying to say, just very like picture perfect and very structured, and then maybe they see your artwork or they get more information about what you do behind the scenes or what you do for fun or as a hobby, and they're like really shocked about it, but then that makes them more drawn to you because I feel like maybe some of them appreciate the type of artwork that you do or the artistic ways that you have. They appreciate it, or some of them may be into those creative endeavors or those artistic ways that you have also. So it's like they can relate to you. Interesting. So we have heavy water signs. I think all the signs are here, but we have heavy Taurus, Libra, heavy Scorpio, and heavy Leo. And the signs I mentioned earlier in the Astro Dice. All right, group two. That was your reading. All right, group three. We have chanting. The vibe you give off is that you could be someone who uses your voice a lot. Excuse me. You could be someone who has a voice that projects, like you can speak loudly very easily, whether you are feminine or masculine. You give the vibe you give off currently is that like you got things to do. You got things to do and people to see. So you could be an entrepreneur. You could be putting in a lot of work and time and effort and energy into your plans, the plans that you have for your life, the plans you have for your family. You could be someone who's trying to create a legacy for yourself and your family. And this is the vibe you give off. That's interesting. You could give off the vibe that you're a teacher also. Maybe the way that you talk to people They may feel that you're a teacher, or when you have conversations with them, you could teach them something that they didn't know about before. You could be a Scorpio. All right, let's keep going. Astral Dice, here we go. Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. What vibe is group 3 currently giving off? Leo, 8th house, and the moon. Let's see, moon and Leo in the 8th house. So, so you could be a Cancer, a Leo, or a Scorpio, like I mentioned earlier. You could give off the vibe that you're someone who's very loyal to your family, loyal to your friends, like loyal to your loved ones. And you can give off the vibe too, like I mentioned before, is that you're like really focused on your goals and your dreams. And no one can get in the way of that. Maybe one or two of you can be a Capricorn, or you could have like your Mars could be in Capricorn, maybe. Hmm. 8th house. Yeah, so maybe sometimes the way that you speak can come off as being intense or passionate. And you stand firmly on the things that you believe in. And this is the vibe you give off. It's like people can tell you their opinions and their perspectives, but you still you don't budge when people try to maybe persuade you to believe what they believe. I mean, you could be someone who's understanding of what they're saying, but yeah, you stand on what you say, for sure. Or you stand on what you say, you stand on what you believe. Yeah, you're definitely someone very, very focused. Maybe for some of you, you could be moody. You could have like mood swings, like not in a negative way, but in a way where it's like one day you could be happy, outgoing, talkative, festive, I heard, and then in another moment or like the next day, you could just be to yourself. You don't really want to talk to anyone. You just don't feel like talking. And you could, like, there could be nothing wrong with you. You just don't feel like having a conversation. And I feel like this is how I am sometimes. Like, I'm moody, but not in a way where it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's just like, if I feel good today, I have some conversations. If I don't really feel like talking, then I just don't talk, and it's nothing against anybody else. So y'all could be this way too. Let's keep going, spirit guys. What vibe is group 3 currently giving off right now? What vibe is group 3 giving off right now? 2 of air. 8 of earth. Yep, exactly. You're just focused on your work. You're focused on getting your money, getting that paper, getting your bread, building up your savings account, fixing your credit score. Maybe one of you is trying to buy a new car. Ooh, okay, and this car fell out. Or maybe one of you is trying to sell your cars. That's what I heard. Was this 2 of fire and 6 of fire? Dang. Yep. Y'all are very fiery. Very fiery, very passionate. Like I said in the beginning, this is just confirming everything. But people feel like whatever you do, you're very skilled at it. You're a master at whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's you being an entrepreneur or whether it's your everyday living. Whatever you're doing, you're like really good at it. You could give off the vibe also that you're someone who's popular and you could know a lot of people, or a lot of people know about you. So you could also be a popular loner for some of you. We got the Chariot. Yeah, you guys are definitely very motivated people. 8 of water. So the number 88 could be significant for you. We got a lot of 8s here. We got 8, 8, 8, and 8 with the astral dice here. So you could be seeing 888. Okay. Some of y'all could be born in August. Your birthday could be August 8th. I'm hearing August 8th, 1988 for someone. You could have been born. And we have Adelita of air. And then 5 of fire. So heavy fire signs in this group. I think all the signs are here, but I'm getting heavy fire signs, heavy Scorpio, heavy Cancer. You could be someone who may talk about your plans with other people or talk about your plans with people that you trust. And they see that you have really good ideas for whatever it is you're doing or that you're trying to do. You give off the vibe that you're someone who is successful. You know where you're going in life. You're not confused. You're good with making decisions. You also give off the vibe that maybe you've been through some things. And maybe this is why you are a loner. It's like people know about you. People know of you. But maybe you keep to yourself, maybe because you've dealt with competition from other people in the past or dealt with mental conflict with others, or people try to get in the way of your goals and your plans. So maybe you made some adjustments over time. But yeah, this is the vibe you give off, is that you're like the wounded warrior. You've been through some things. All right. Yes, I called out the signs already. But heavy fire signs, heavy Cancer, heavy Scorpio, and Leo. All right, group 3. That was your reading. So let's get into it for group 4. So we have rest. So you may be someone who has very like doughy eyes or eyes that look maybe tired. So this could be like recently, like you pulled an all-nighter or you didn't get much sleep, maybe because you were working or because you had to get up for work or something dealing with your child or children. And people, maybe some people or a person could tell that you were tired and maybe you needed some sleep. Or you could be someone who likes to sleep a lot. So I'm getting you could be a Taurus or a Pisces. Let's take what resonates. And you could be someone who is not a morning person. Yeah, that's the vibe you give off. Group 4 is that you may not be someone who's a morning person. You may be someone who doesn't want to talk to anybody until you have your first cup of coffee, or you don't want to talk to anyone until it's like 11 o'clock in the morning or whatever, like if you're at work or something. Yeah, you may be grouchy in the morning or cranky in the morning. That's the vibe you give off. All right. You could be age 43, could be born in April or March. All right, Astro Dice time. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What vibe is group 4 currently giving off? So South Node and Virgo in the 5th house. You see that? Yeah. So you may be someone who has a very interesting sleep routine, or you're someone where your sleep is very important to you. You may be someone who you're, what am I trying to say? Like you don't stay out late. You could like to get your rest. Like if you get invited out to a party or the club or a bar or some type of event, you're someone who doesn't stay for very long at that event because you want to go home or you get tired easily. Or maybe you're someone who needs a lot of rest because you do a lot. You could be someone who is well known. You could be a celebrity, you could be famous, you could be famous online, you could have a TikTok that's growing, you could have a YouTube channel that's growing, your website could be getting more views, more traffic, more foot traffic to your websites, I heard. So you could have multiple businesses that you are working on building. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Spirit guides, what's the current vibe that Group 4 is giving off right now? What's the current vibe that Group 4 is giving off? Temperance. You could be someone who's also slow moving. Like you could be someone who walks slow or slower than people around you. Maybe for one of you, you could have an issue with like your leg or your hip or your foot or something. So that causes you to walk slower than other people. So guys, what vibe is Group 4 currently giving off? Some of y'all could be coming from Group 1, or there could be messages in Group 1 for you. You have 7 of air. For one of you, you could be a travel agent, or you could be a flight attendant, or you could travel for work in some type of way. You could have recently traveled for work, or you have like a work event that's coming up where you have to travel. I'm hearing you have many irons in the fire. So you're definitely someone who is a business person. Like you have a lot of businesses, you have multiple streams of income. This is the vibe you give off. The Lovers, ooh. And we have 9 of air. You may have a very difficult job or responsibilities that are very stressful. So you have to be very strategic with handling these stresses or handling these responsibilities. And you have to be strategic with the amount of energy and time that you're giving to each activity or each responsibility so that you won't deplete yourself too much. You know what I'm saying? You could be someone who has a lot on your mind, or you have to handle a lot. So you could be a manager if you're not like, yeah, you could be someone who's a manager or a leader. You could be in leadership in some type of way. For one of you, you could be like the leader of your family and you're someone who has to plan things for your family often. This vibe you give off. You're someone who is prosperous. People can see this or they can sense this off of you. When you're out and about, you could be someone who's always on the phone, or you're always like receiving phone calls. So you're someone who's an important person. This is the vibe you give off. Group 4. Some of you could like to drink tea. We have 2 of earth. I'm hearing, I don't know if ashwagandha has a tea, but you could take ashwagandha, or you could drink ashwagandha tea, or you could be someone who likes to drink, I don't know if I could say this on YouTube, but like you could take like doses of shrooms, or you can take like intake shroom tea. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm getting that too. So the vibe that you give off, Group 4, for some of you is that you may look like you're high or look like you're lit. in some type of way, maybe because your eyes are droopy or slanted. But that could be because either you're tired or because you had some type of you consumed something that has made you look more relaxed or look tired. Okay. We have Iha of Earth. Yeah, it's just confirming my messages. The vibe you give off is that you have a lot of things going on in your life. And you could be building something up right now that you're not really telling many people about. This could be something that is specifically dedicated to you, or like a very personal goal that you have that you're working on that maybe you're not telling people about. 13, what vibe does group 4 give off? What vibe is group 4 currently giving off? And 5 of water. You could be building a new home or working on building something. I heard you building a shed or building something. Something you're building and it involves wood and nails. So it could be you got a new piece of furniture, like on a small scale, or on a larger scale, you could be building a home or maybe helping someone build a home, or you're replacing a roof or replacing something in your house or something like that. And then we got Wheel of Fortune. The vibe you give off is that you've worked really hard to get to where you are right now. You went through a lot of ups and downs. You've had to be very strategic. You had to plan out a lot of things. For some of you, you had to start over a few times, which was very stressful and irritating. But you are at a good point in your life right now where you could be financially stable, or you're working towards building up financial stability. But the wheel is turning in your favor. Luck is on your side. God is on your side, and people can see this. Maybe not necessarily just from your looks, but it could be more of the resources you have, or the people you're surrounded by, or the different activities you're involved in, you know. All right, so we have Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius. We have heavy Sagittarius and heavy Gemini, and then the signs I mentioned before with the astro dice. All right, group 4, that was your reading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.